Last week, the Detroit Lions signed 3 players to their practice squad, all 3 being receivers, and with the hopes of bringing them up to the actual roster. Now, I believe all 3 will probably be on the roster, at least 2 of them. One will be on the practice squad, but we are still looking for that big body receiver, looking for that wide receiver 3 that's going to step in alongside Jamo and Amon-Ra. We still don't really know who that's going to be, but today I'm going to go through those 3 guys that we signed, and we're going to take a look, and I'm going to tell you guys who I think will get that job. We're going to start with Tim Patrick, coming over from the Denver Broncos, and this is a guy who maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not. Now, I've heard this guy's name before. I've never really seen him. Knew what he did. I knew he was 6'4". I knew that he was a solid depth beast, but I didn't know that he could actually be a starting caliber player. If I had to make my prediction on who is going to be our starting wide receiver 3 this season, I think it's going to be this guy. His biggest thing is he needs to stay healthy because he's missed the last 2 seasons with season-ending injuries. So the biggest thing for him is he just needs to stay healthy. Now, the 2 seasons before that, the 2021 and 2020 season, he had really good years, acquiring over 700 yards each season, one with 5 touchdowns and one with 6 touchdowns, I believe. I might be wrong on those 2 numbers, but I know he had at least 5 touchdowns in the 2021 season, and he looked really good. And, obviously the Broncos had Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, so he was more of a wide receiver 3 there, but he made some big plays, and he was used very nicely over there. And having this guy, I think, the biggest reason I think he's going to start is because he reminds me exactly of Josh Reynolds. Not the fastest guy. He doesn't get open that often, but he also gets open to the point where you can throw him the ball downfield, and he's able to create separation at times once he gets moving. And he's just a go up and get it guy, and that's what we've been looking for. I think Tim Patrick is going to be our starter. Now, we're going to go ahead and take a look now at Allen Robinson, who another hometown, born in Michigan. This guy, I think, when we signed this guy, I was really excited because I know he's older, and I know that he's, lost most of his mojo, but when you look at Allen Robinson, like the experience he has and like what he could be if, we use him right in our system, which you look at him, he looks like he's going to fit well in our system. Now, a 6'2", 6'3" guy that spent a lot of time in Chicago. He won a Super Bowl with LA, I believe, and then last year was on the Pittsburgh Steelers and had a decent year there. He didn't really do much, obviously, but Allen Robinson is not some bum of a receiver, right? He's older, but he's a guy that I think is going to fit really well in this offense, and I do think he's going to get a lot of targets this year. I'm not expecting him to get 35 catches, maybe 25 to 30 with, 2 touchdowns. That would be what I expect. Now, if Tim Patrick goes down, I expect this guy to be the next guy in. I do think there's a chance he even starts over Tim Patrick because of his experience and what he is and even what he was. But overall, I think that he's going to be that backup guy and will come in when we need him. But overall, I love the signing. I really think that extra depth is going to help us with Tim Patrick being injury prone, but I do think that Tim Patrick will probably be a starter for most of the season, and this guy will come in if he goes down or if he's not producing. So love that signing. And for Tim Patrick, I don't think he's going to, if he misses 5 games, not the end of the world as long as he's back by playoffs. But I do think he's going to be a lot healthier this year, obviously, with all the time he's had off. So with our final guy, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who obviously was already on the team. We already know what he looks like, and let's be honest, he played himself out of that starting position. He came into the season expected to be that wide receiver 3, and he kind of just, through preseason, kind of just played himself out of that. He didn't really have a great preseason. Some of the undrafted rookies were looking better than him, and I love DPJ, another hometown, guy born in Michigan, but he didn't look great in preseason, and he needs to get himself under control. He's not really great at creating separation, but he's a guy that is a really good hands guy. He can make big catches, and he can get open. You just got to give him the right play and the right, quarterback, obviously, to get him the ball. Overall, I'm really glad that we signed him back because, again, he could start on this team. I just think he needs more time in our system and more time to continue to get his legs back under him and just, become the player he once was with Cleveland, because he was a beast in Cleveland. He was a great wide receiver too, and I do think that he is going to get a lot of targets this year as well. I think him, Tim, and as well as Allen Robinson are all going to get pretty equal amount of targets. I think Tim's going to get a little more than the other 2, but I do think that they're all going to get split pretty evenly. Overall, love these 3 signings. I'm glad that we got DPJ back, and I'm glad that we went after a big body guy in Tim Patrick, and then got a really good receiver in Allen Robinson. I think that these three guys are going to help be vital pieces on this offense and great depth pieces as well. Let me know what you guys think of these signings, and thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.